In this video, we will go over one of the amazing features of Google Forms, how to turn it into a self-grading quiz. As you can see, we have a Google form here from a previous video with some multiple choice and checkbox questions. These are the type of questions that Google will be able to self-grade for us. To turn it into a self-grading quiz, we'll go up and choose the settings option and choose quizzes, and then we'll toggle over to make this a quiz. And some new options will come up. The first one is to turn on locked mode. We'll go more in depth in this new feature in a future video, so stay tuned. The next thing is to release the grade either immediately or after manual review. If you choose to have some paragraph or short answer questions, Google won't be able to self-grade these, so you would need to do that after manual review. And then you can show whether or not your students see correct answers or point values, and you can uncheck those after you release the grades, and you can save those settings for this quiz. And then you'll see at the top, there's a new thing that shows total points. Now, one of the things that we didn't include in this quiz in the previous video was a question for first and last name, and we always recommend that you have this even though it collects their email addresses. We recommend that you put in a piece for first and last name just so it's easier to identify whose quiz is whose. So we suggest putting this in and having it required. Now, when it's a quiz, you assign point values for your questions, but for first and last name, we want this to be ungraded, and so we would leave it as point value 0. So as you can see for that question, there's now an answer key associated with each question, and this is what you'd need to fill out for each of your quiz questions, and you do need to assign a point value. So you go through and just select which is the correct answer and give each question a point value at the top by selecting the question and clicking the answer key at the bottom and choosing the point value at the top right, and then clicking on your correct answer. You can select more than one correct answer if you would like by clicking it, and you can uncheck if you accidentally click on a wrong answer. So you can quickly go through and select all of your correct answers and make your answer key. Now this one is checkboxes, so I will have more than one correct answer. So I'm going to select those and change my point value to 2 points since I have 2 correct answers. And remember, you can have paragraph and short answer questions as well. It's just that Google will not be able to grade them. You will have to do that later. You can also add some feedback for incorrect or correct answers for students that will show up at the end of their quiz. So you can have them follow up with some study guides with a link for further review. And you can include that at the bottom of any questions. You can also include a video for them for further practice or for more information if they got a question wrong. Like this, it will bring up a YouTube link that you can copy and paste. You can also add feedback for correct answers like a nice job or great work, and include that with any piece of your quiz. Now, it's always good to scroll back through and make sure that you have point values for each of your quiz questions and that you have the right answers selected. And by clicking the little eyeball, you can preview what your quiz looks like for your students, and we'll show what this looks like to take it and to show the feedback that students would get at the end. So going through, quickly taking the quiz and submitting it at the end. And then students would be able to view their accuracy, and depending on if you allowed them to see correct answers or not, or see what they missed, they would be able to see how they did on the quiz. And then if you had feedback associated to a question, this is what that would look like. If they got a question wrong and you had some feedback, they would be able to see the video or to click on the link associated with that. So remember, if you want to make it a self-grading quiz, you also will have the response information here, and Google will give you nice charts and all that information. We do have that responses video that you can go a little bit more in depth with this, but I wanted to show you that there is a column in your response sheet specific for your scores, and so it will keep that updated based on your form, and each time that a new student takes the form, your scores will be kept there. So again, go to quizzes, toggle that over to make as a quiz, and Google will grade it for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the EdTech Team YouTube channel right here, and check out the next video in our playlist.